Welcome. I'm excited to be here to do a Q&A. I am about to start my summer break. And uh, if you're new here, then you may not know that for the last 10 something years of doing stuff online, of course, I've only been doing YouTube a couple of years now, but I take the summers off. I do not produce new content in the summers. Does it affect my business? Of course it does, right? But it's the way I'm able to keep doing this. And it is something that has been really important to me. And it's one of those things that I started because I started all this when my kids were 3, 5, and 7. Tried to do summers the first year, maybe the second year too, and then went, I feel like I'm not doing well at anything, right? And so I decided to not put out new content in the summer. And so my kids are in college now. And I still am doing this because it is just a loosey-goosey time and I just need it for my mental health. So it is my boundary. It's my container. I might do some lives this summer, but I'm not guaranteeing it. How about that? So who knows when they will be. They'd probably still be on Tuesdays because I do have some things scheduled on Tuesdays because things are different. I only have one kid living at home this summer and she'll be working, but it is just how I do things. So I'm letting y'all know that so that you know that the video that comes out on Thursday, I have a edited video that comes out on Thursdays, will be the last one until probably mid-August, possibly September, because I don't want you to think, oh no, Dana doesn't do YouTube anymore. It's not that. I'm just taking my summer break. It's how it goes every year. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you've turned on your notifications so that when I do come back, you'll actually know that. Another great way to make sure you know things, what's going on, is to make sure that you, and which you can use this anyway for the summer, right? But let me move my thing so I can see better. If you sign up for my newsletter, then every Friday, usually we were late getting it out this time, every Friday we put out a newsletter that gives you like, this is the newest content that has come out. And so you'll know when new things are coming out so you don't miss it. So you also get a copy of my 5-step decluttering process, like a printable of that when you sign up at aslobcomesclean.com/5. Okay. I bet y'all can guess what I'm about to say, which is that I, this is kind of last minute, so I didn't actually go through and get the asked ahead of time questions. So those of you who are here, I will answer your question if I'm able to, right? And if I see it, I can't always see all of them. They go quickly past my eyes. But if you would like to ask a question, put 3 question marks at the beginning because that is more likely to register in my brain as, oh, that's a question, okay? Just a quick, easy way to do that. All right. I know, boo hiss. I know. I mean, I'm assuming you're saying boo hiss about me being gone, not just like boo hiss in general. But it is. I always feel bad about it, but at the same time, I'm like, this is how I can keep going, right? Like I'm always ready to go again at the end of the summer, and I just need that. So let's see. See, I'm catching one that didn't have the question marks. Just found you accidentally organizing a craft room video. Loving your process, and I'm starting my decluttering journey. Yeah, if you have not seen my decluttering a craft room using the no mess process, because guess what? People who are crafters think it can't be decluttered because everything is useful. Well, actually, the everything is useful is not really a factor in my no mess decluttering process. And so it works really, really well with, odds and ends and crafty type things. So if you have not watched that, I recommend that you go do that. It's Kara Brandon. So I think if you just put in decluttering craft room Dana K. White on YouTube, you'll find it. Dear Dana, do you think donating is better than trying to sell extra clutter online? I sometimes have so much stress deciding what to do with extra items that were expensive. Yes, I do think donating is better. You asked me what I think, so I'm telling you what I think. I do think donating is better. I had to come to that place for myself because I also understand where you are coming from. That is where I was. Here's another thing for the summer. I'm just going to plug it, y'all. Read my books. Okay, so literally I was just listening through How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind for some things I have going on because I wrote it 10 years ago now. What in the world? Y'all, it's like really good. I hope you're laughing with me. It's really good. Like, it's really like, I'm like, oh yeah, yep. This is all the stuff that you need to know. Like, so I recommend you read through How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind and Decluttering the Speed of Life. While I'm off for the summer, it's not homework, it's entertaining. Okay. It's part of the reason why I was like, oh, this is actually not boring. But in each of those books, there is a chapter on this from different perspectives. Okay. The value trap of this. Like, I get it. I used to see dollar signs on everything because I got into this mess, or it made it extra worse, by being a reseller, right? Like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with reselling, because I also know from experience that that was our only way to have extra money, and we needed that, right? I now know things that would have changed completely that experience, right? But here's what I came to. I made the decision that donating was worth it to me, worth my time, because it was the way for me to get stuff out of my house the fastest and with the least angst after I made the decision to donate, right? Like, making that decision to choose donating was incredibly powerful in speeding up my decluttering journey. Okay. But the reality is, if you are in this situation where you are stopped from decluttering because of those items that were very expensive, here's my recommendation. Do whatever you have to do to get out of your house. Okay. What that means, and this is what I recommend, is if you can't donate it, then you need to sell it. And I know you're like, well, of course. No. That's the take it there now of this, right? The going ahead and selling it, pick one thing that you are most confident you would get a lot of money for, and go through the process. It's not, some people find it fun. I did find it fun and energizing. Now I look at it and it's like, and I know there are a lot of people who are, it's overwhelming, I don't know what to do, blah, blah. Go through the process for the one thing you are most confident would sell for decent money. One of two things will happen. You will then know how to do it. It won't be intimidating anymore, and you'll be able to get out of your house. Or you will have happen to you what happens to most people, which is, yeah, that was a lot of work. And when I actually divide the amount of time and stress I put into this and the amount of money that I made, it's actually much more worth it to donate. It is worth it to me to get it out faster by donating. But I had to come to that place. So go through the pain and the process of selling if that's what you have to do. If you're willing to take my word for it, yes, absolutely donate. Absolutely do that. Okay. If you can't make yourself donate, then go through selling, because that's the take it there now, right? Like, that's the reality of going ahead and doing the thing. And the one thing that's not an option is for it to sit in your house while you debate over the two, right? Like, if there's something you think you need to do, go through the pain of doing it so that thing is gone. And also so you learn from that pain of, that's not worth it to me. And now I view it as, listen, the people who take my stuff away, they are doing me a service. They're going to sell it. Good for them. Good for them. Like, I get it, because I used to have that mentality more like, I don't want someone else to get more money for this than I. And I'm like, they earn that money because I sold. I know I worked hard for the money that I made on eBay. I worked so hard for that money. I had skills, I had knowledge, I learned things. They deserve the money that they get for that item. I'm not losing it. I'm like, hey, this is a service that you are doing for me by taking it. Anyway, this is a passion point of mine, so I didn't mean to preach for quite so long. All right, here we go. Moving to a home with no dishwasher, how do I shift to hand washing only without going back to being overwhelmed? Remember that it was always about the routine and not the tools. Okay? It was never about the tools. I will tell you that it is, I know, because some of y'all, this is one of those subjects that gets people like super riled up, right? I will just tell you that the people I know who had the hardest time in this shift were actually going the other way, going from not having a dishwasher to having a dishwasher. Here's what I will tell you, because the routine changed, right? And because it was supposed to have been magical to have a dishwasher, whatever, but you've got this down. It is the same concept. Having a dishes finish line. At this point in the day, all the dishes need to be washed. Okay, that doesn't mean that an older child or another adult in your family is not going to, like, you know, make themselves a meal after that time, whatever, but it's kind of like laundry day finish line. You have a finish line. At this point, the dishes are done, and anything else that comes along, you know, you may decide, well, then that's tomorrow's dishes, right? Like that, you know, just to have this thing, because otherwise it gets into this, oh no, there's no point in it, right? We just have a dishes finish line. But the beauty of having a dishes finish line is that it changes your perspective on the small dishes along the way. Because if I'm thinking of it as, well, I know that at, you know, after dinner or before I go to bed at night, I want all the dishes done. Well, when I know that, then when I dirty a dish at 8 o'clock in the morning and it's one dish and there's not a bunch of dishes in the sink to just kind of let it blend in with, but there's one dish, I'm like, you know, if I just swoosh this real quick and set it over in the, you know, dish dryer, then that'll be one less dish I have to do later. And changing that mentality is incredibly powerful. So I know for us last summer, and my kids are home and I've been catching up on getting some stuff done for work. And so I haven't given my big speech or written my big instruction sheet again, like I had last summer. But I will say, so I'm like, okay, we got to get back into this for this summer. But last summer we had a no dish in the sink ever for any reason policy. Did it always work? Of course not. But having that policy and working on that policy and enforcing that policy meant that we never got behind on dishes. Okay. So it is possible to, that was very helpful for me in, you know, realizing, let's just do every single dish as it comes along. Like if the dishwasher has room in it, great, put it in there. If the dishwasher's clean, which I know you don't have a dishwasher, but if the dishwasher's clean, then you can either hand wash the one dish or you can empty the dishwasher and put that in there, you know, that kind of thing. But having that, like, playing the game of nothing in the sink is really powerful, especially there in the beginning of this new situation, to kind of give you your head start on that. Let's see. I'm having my basement remodeled and running out of places to store what is usually nicely organized. Tips. Yeah, like having it remodeled is the same process as moving. Okay, so it being in boxes is just reality for this stage of life. It's not perfect. Like, I think that this, like, wanting things to be under control and perfect and all this in the midst of a situation like this is like a recipe for disaster, right? Because you're only going to be disappointed. It's not actually possible. But those spaces that you are having to remove everything from in order for them to be remodeled, think of it like the same way as a move. Like my same advice I give for a move, which is if you've got a box that you're packing something up in, you've also right next to it got a donate box and a trash bag. So it is as easy to trash it or donate it as it is to put in there. So use that as a way to declutter. And then those boxes, they're a limited amount, and then as you put things back, you'll also do that. But there isn't like a perfect way. And maybe I didn't fully understand the question. Okay, 37 weeks with baby number 7. Yay! We live in a small house, and I am decluttering slowly. I'm having a nesting party on Saturday. What should be my priorities for the ladies to work on? Okay, I'm actually glad that my decluttering coaches, one of them like goes in and helps people do nesting parties. They would all be willing to do that now, because we were talking about that at a retreat we just had. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just going to say it real quick. I have decluttering coaches. Did y'all know that? Declutteringcoaches.com. It's my site. And they are trained and certified by me in the no mess process, and they are amazing women. Like, I love these women. So if you, that site is my site, my personal, only me site. The only coaches listed there are the ones who are trained and certified by me. Okay. And so you don't have to go in and filter out which ones are Dana's coaches. They're all mine. I know. Like, I got declutteringcoaches.com. That's pretty cool, right? But they're all my people. So, but yeah, so anyway, that's how I know what nesting parties are, because we just had a retreat with my coaches, and they were talking about that. So great. Now I have to get back to this to put up there. You were asking, what should they focus on? So you're working on decluttering. Here's what I would do is, like, some of the deep cleaning that you want done, like, that either you haven't been able to do because you've been, you're 37 weeks pregnant, and also you may not want to do for a while, that kind of thing. I would, have them help with any of the things that a lot of procrastinator. That's what I would have them do, right? Is your folding of things and all that, anything that's behind that you're like, I've been meaning to do this. I would like make a list of procrastinator and have them do that. If y'all don't know what a nesting party is, my understanding, and I could be completely wrong here, is that, here we go, is that people come in, she's baby number 7, maybe don't need a lot of physical stuff, but people come in and help you get your house ready for the baby, right? So really working on the spaces, like really you're working on decluttering your house, you're decluttering slowly. Zero in on the purpose of the different rooms. Excuse me. Sorry, I was sick last week. The purpose of the different rooms, and zeroing in on that so that they understand going in, that's the purpose of this room. And you may have some people who are great at kind of, sorting and organizing and things like that, but you don't want to get into a situation where they help you by pulling everything out, and then it's time for them to go and you're left worse off, right? So the whole no mess part of that, you might print out the 5-step sheets, 5-step process to share with people. But what I would really do is like the mopping and the floorboards and the the deep clean of the bathrooms and the kitchen and wiping down your kitchen cupboards, those kinds of things that you just put off. That's what I would have them focus on. Let's see. Hi, most spaces in my home are under control. Yay, I can do a 10-minute pickup and fix the space. But still, my first response is overwhelm and panic. Any suggestions? Am I over my clutter threshold? So if you feel like it's under control, great. Like, right, if you're good with a 10-minute pickup, great. Like, if that's great. I have my way that I know I'm over my clutter threshold is if a consistent 5-minute pickup is not enough, right? Like, if it's not able to get back under control, then I know I need to declutter some more. So what I would do is say, because you said I can do a 10-minute pickup and fix the space. What I would say is, sorry, something in my eye. Goodness gracious, I'm a mess today. I would focus on doing a consistent 5-minute pickups. Okay, like work on that. Work on trying every day or almost every day to do 5-minute pickups. And that will get you to the point where you feel much more in control of things, and it will be less overwhelming. As you do that, though, there was a video I did probably a year ago, August. So that would be what, August 23 is when I would look. And I, like, my kitchen was a mess. And I talked about how I use my 5-step process to calm myself down in any situation that makes me feel overwhelmed. Because you're like, my house is really not that bad. I can get it under control pretty easily. And yet I still feel overwhelmed when I face the mess. Me too, right? Like I still do. I look at it and I go, oh no. And I'm like, okay, use the 5-step process. I'm going to start with the trash. I usually grab a little shopping bag and I go around and I just throw trash in it. And then I go, okay, all right, I've gotten the trash. Okay, is there anything that I do know what to do with it? Is there any easy stuff? All right, I'm gonna do that. Generally, in those situations, it's the trash and the easy stuff, and I'm done. So follow the process. Let's see. How to declutter when the stuff requires special trips. Paint cans, fire extinguishers, old laptops, etc. I never deal with that stuff because there's always easier stuff to deal with. Yeah, I think it's that acknowledging that the special trip is a valid use of the decluttering energy and time. Okay, so it can be hard. I would take the thing that you already do know what to do with. Let's say that it's, and I'm not giving advice here because you will have to Google it for your personal thing. But let's say there is a place in your town where you can take your paint cans to be, whatever it is you're supposed to do with paint cans. Saying, okay, that's what I'm doing. I want to declutter today, but in reality, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those paint cans and I'm going to load them up and I'm going to drive them there and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to check to make sure the place is open before I go, right? And you do that thing. The weight that will be lifted off of you is amazing. I just did a session with somebody yesterday, and we came across something like that, where it was like, what about this thing? And I've heard that you should do this to it before you actually get rid of it, and blah, blah, blah. Going through that process feels like, oh, well, that's not decluttering. I'll have to do that later. And yet, as long as it sits there, because I haven't gone through the figuring out how to do it, it is clutter, right? And so it is decluttering to Google what to do with the paint cans. It is decluttering to gather them up and put them in the car and do that thing. Like, that is decluttering. And so that will take a huge, off of your brain. A huge, whatever the word is. Oh, come on. It's almost summer, right? Let's see. If you have asked a question and you think I've missed it, I do miss some. I cannot see them all. I'm not a computer. But feel free to re-ask again with question marks at the front. I'm more likely to see those. Are any of your clutter coaches from outside the US? I'm considering taking your course. I'm just not sure how it works if I'm from Canada. Yeah, absolutely. I know we have coaches in Canada. We have coaches in Australia. I know we have coaches in Europe. I don't think we have any in South America. We need some. But yeah, no, we absolutely do have coaches outside the US. And it's your own business, right? Like, you're not working for me when you're a decluttering coach. You have your own business. What I do, I'll just talk about it for a minute, right? Since you brought it up. It's not like I brought it up. There is a course. It is expensive because it is designed for you to use it as your business, right? Like, it is a core. It's not meant for the random person who just wants to learn more about decluttering. It's meant for the person who's planning on, doing this to help other people. But you take the training course first. You can use that however you want. You can tell people, hey, I took Dana's training course, whatever. But after you finish that, then you decide, do I want to be certified? That is an additional ongoing fee. The course itself is like a one-time thing, and you have access for as long as the course exists, right? And you can take your time. There's no like time limit on how long you do it, whatever. So then you come and you do your certification. Okay. If you are certified, then if you apply for certification, pay that money, then we check through all of your answers. We'll check through your answers if you ask us to otherwise, but we check through your answers to make sure you really understand, right? Like, because that's the whole thing about certified. I am doing this not just for my own being able to say I have certified coaches. I mean, it's fun to say it, but it's so that I can say to the vast majority of people watching right now who have no interest in being a coach that no, if they're listed on this site, they get it. They can help you. They are actually like, they know the no mess process, right? They are not going to come in, because I know I've heard the stories, the horror stories, right, from y'all of having someone come in to help you who didn't get it and made everything worse, right? So that's the goal, is that you have a place where you can go to know that someone can help you. Anyway, so what was your question? I don't know. Anyway, so, but yeah, and then certified coaches get ongoing support. Like, that's who got to come to the retreat if they wanted to, right? It wasn't required, of course. Certified coaches, we do a training every month. The certified coaches help each other out and brainstorm together. We have so it's really a really fun and lovely group of women. We did used to have one man coach, but he's not coaching anymore. So, but as of right now, it's all women. But I guess my point is, you run your business, like, you set your own rates, you do all of that. Like, you are not working for me. You are just, by being certified, you get access to additional trainings, and you get the support of other coaches, and you get listed on the site. Okay. Which I know I'm talking too much about this, but if you do that, you have to understand, if like, your level of success is based upon the work that you put into it, right? Like, it's not just a turnkey business where, oh, I get to become a coach and I'm on her site and now I have full-time clients. That's not how it works, right? But you do get clients from my site. Okay, let's see. The first 3 steps, do you do them all at once? I tried all the trash in an area, then all the donate, then all the putting away, but it seems to work better to do them all at once. Do whatever you want to do. Like, because you are going item by item, final decision, acting on that final decision, you can do any of really the first 4 steps at any time and be fine, right? I like to, the reason there's steps and not just, oh, find the trash, easy stuff, and donations, obvious donations, is because then my brain starts to go like this, like, I need something to be like, I'm overwhelmed, like we were talking about before. I'm overwhelmed. Okay, just look for the trash. That's all I have to do. Okay, I look for the trash. All right, okay, I think I've gotten what I can get to. You're not going to pull everything out. You're not going to move things around to find trash. Just what trash you can see, immediately know as trash, and access. Okay, I'm going to get that up. All right, so easy stuff. But whatever works for you, that's what you should be doing, right? Okay. What is your number 1 vacation advice traveling by car for families with young children? If you are traveling by car and you're going to stay in multiple places, I recommend that you pack not a bag for each person, but a bag for each stop. So, you have your big suitcase, and that is going to be, especially because you said young children specifically, that is our bag that we're going to use, that we're going to pull out at grandma's house. That means you don't have to pull out every single suitcase at every single stop, right? This is the one, and it has everybody's clothes in it, and I would generally do mine and my husband, mine and my kids, and then my husband had his own bag, right? But so we just do 2 because it just worked better in the packing, because I was doing all the packing for the kids when they were little. The other thing I do was Ziploc, and I think Hefty both have 2.5 gallon or 2 gallon bags. You might have to order them somewhere, because I don't know that they always have them at the store. But if you get the 2 gallon bags, then what I would do when the kids were little was I would put a full complete outfit in the bag. And when they're little, a 1 gallon works, right? But so it's like socks, underwear, shorts, and shirt. you know, and cap if they need it, whatever, you know, if there's something specific that goes with that outfit. I would do that. And it just, oh my word, it made things so much easier. And then my kids, when they went to camp, were like, Mom, that's embarrassing. Don't do that. And I was like, but it's the best thing ever, because I loved it when my mom packed for me that way for camp when I was in 4th grade, and my daughter loved it, but my boys, so embarrassing, like truly just absolutely humiliating if I had done that. So then they came back having worn the same thing the whole time. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it on the internet for the whole world. Maybe not the same exact thing, but a lot of stuff they had more. Anyway, but that is my number one advice, because then there is so much joy in grabbing a Ziploc bag that has the full outfit and say, here, kid, wear this. Love it. Love it. I have a couple items that need to be sewn, but I don't sew. Do I pay someone to sew the items or throw them away? My ripped rice bag literally has gotten rice all over my bedroom. So frustrating. Do you know someone already who can do that? Do you have a friend who you can say, hey, can you do this? Are you willing to look up YouTube videos on simple repairs and get yourself a little sewing kit and do it? If not, if you're not willing to do those things today, like send the text to the person you already know or look up the YouTube video after you finish watching me, of course, then I would say yes, throw it away. Like, yes, throw it away. Here's the thing I will say about rice bags, though. I used to do them a little more complicated. And when she's saying a rice bag, what that is you heat it up in the microwave, and it's like a heating pad, right? That's not electric. So then you don't have to worry about like turning it off at a certain time. And it also just kind of curves around, you know, whatever it is that you need heated. So, but we do it in socks. So I would have a sock and put the rice in it and then just tie up the end, and no sewing was necessary. Let's see. See, here we go. Another thing for the books, right? Dana's books have changed my life. Thank you. I now have room to exercise at home, and that gives me energy to clean and declutter faster, and I wind up working faster at work too. It's cumulative. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, I do a couple more things I want to, you know, since this is probably my last one before the summer, I don't know, I might do another one, we'll see. I do want to tell y'all, if I am currently working on a book right now, if you use my strategies in other areas of life, like at work, in other things to help you, you know, break through the overwhelm and stuff, I would love to hear about your experiences at aslobcomesclean.com/survey. I would love that if you would do that. Okay. Seems like there was something else I was going to tell y'all. Oh, I know what it was. Wait, hold on. Yeah. I actually have a sale right now on my meal planning course, which is quite literally the least fancy meal planning course you will ever see. It's normally $16. It's on sale for $10. There's actually, so the code is summer25, but there is a link in the description of this video that takes you straight to it with the code already applied. Okay. Or you can go to aslobcomesclean.com/make-dinner-happen and use the code summer25. Just don't sign into PayPal until you have added the code. You have to click the little thing that says, do you have a code or whatever? But don't sign into PayPal, because then it'll charge you the full amount. So don't do that until after you've entered the code. But it's a 2-week meal plan with my freezer cooking of like your chicken, you know, cooking a bunch of chicken, cooking a bunch of ground beef, freezing those, and then using those in meals. So if you've ever been like, I kind of want to learn to cook that way, but I don't quite know how it would happen, you will know how to do that at the end of these 2 weeks of meals. The 2 weeks of meals, also because of the way they're done, could easily, especially in summer if you're not cooking that much, last you a month because you're eating out and doing other stuff on other nights, right? But that is on sale right now. And the link, like I said, is in the description of this video. That takes you straight to the coupon already being applied. Okay, let's see. Can your decluttering coaches help take away donations? I don't drive, I live alone, and the thrift stores in my area don't do pickups. I really don't want to throw away things that are still good. That is one of those things that is up to them. Okay, so again, like I said, they all own their own businesses, they make their own rules. The thing that they do is that if they are listed on my site and you ask them to follow the no mess process, they will follow the no mess process. Okay, because some of them are like, professional organizers as well and everything and all that. But that's the only thing I can guarantee is that they know the process and they will follow it if you ask them to do it. Most of them do this. Most of them do take donations away. They have a limit, generally, what they can fit in their car. Some do charge more for that, which is a totally valid thing because we know that is a thing, right? Are robot vacuums worth the money? I feel like this is one of those things that is not my area of expertise. And so I think there are other people who can talk about it. I will tell you that I do love mine, but it does get something wrong with it here and there. And it is hard for me to make myself go and figure out what the problem is and fix it. So, but when it's working, if you're somebody who's like a fixer all the time, yeah, like it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference, especially with dog hair. Yeah, no, I love it. Here's the thing though, you got to have your house decluttered to the point where you don't have stuff on the floors because you don't want it to go over stuff. Do they pick up dog hair? Mine does. I mean, I have the basic normal kind, like, which is the Roomba, I think. Here is one thing I will say though on vacuums. I have had two different kinds, though I would not get the kind that does not self-empty. There are some that self-empty. Is it loud? Yes. Whoosh. But yes, self-empty. It's like it, goes back to the base and then it empties the thing. Overwhelmed that I have 3 bedrooms of the last of grown and flown children and not knowing what to do with the bedrooms now. How to choose which for guest room, exercise room, maybe large walk-in. I think it might be one of those things that you are over stressing about. I think I would just go, which one would be the best guest room? Like which one is already the prettiest, or it's already, either attached to a bathroom or close to a bathroom, and just, go with that. And then the exercise room, one thing I would say is measure what, if you're wanting to get equipment, measure the equipment that you're going to get or that you already have, and which would it fit in there. I know I had a friend who made a yoga room one time and then was like, oh, this room is too small to do yoga. So let's see. Let's see. My husband doesn't handle decluttering well, not his stuff, just anything. For example, I have about 50 cookbooks. He freaks out about me getting rid of any, also dishes, pans, etc. he used to cook. This is hard. It is really hard. Here's 2 things I'm going to say. Keep going with your own stuff. Just keep doing it. Keep going with stuff that is not his, like your own clothes, your own crafts that he has nothing to do with, whatever. Like really go hard on your own stuff. And as you do that, follow the no mess process. Make sure you are following the no mess process. I've come to believe, and this shall be a video next year, I have come to believe that a lot of the reason why, and this is not everything, right? Like I know there's so many things here, right? Like there's so many different personal experiences and blah, blah, blah. But I have come to believe that a lot of families' resistance to decluttering is because of the pull it all out method, right? Especially for those of us for whom that method has never actually worked. And I'm talking about myself, right? I have come to realize that when I used to declutter before I came up with my no mess process, that means the space only gets better and never causes chaos, right? It never causes stuff everywhere. Because of the way I used to do everything and also not being good at it and at pulling everything out and being like, this is it, everything's going to change and you need to support me. And I'm not saying you're doing that, right? I'm just saying from my own experience that their resistance to decluttering was associating decluttering with me being less nice than other times and everything being spread out and not knowing where anything was and it being bananas around the house and all that. And so I just feel like a lot of that, so I'm not saying you're doing that still, but I'm saying there is residual reaction because of assuming that that's the way it's going to be if you start talking about decluttering, right? Like if you start talking about decluttering, it's going to be that again, and I can't deal with that again. And not that they verbalize this or say this, right? But, or even in their heads have it all figured out that that's why they're reacting the way they're reacting. But I think it is. I think that has a lot of that. So the doing things with the no mess process, like really commit to that with your own stuff so that it may take a while before they actually notice any difference, but when they see it and they realize that it did not involve the banana step, maybe that'll help. I listened to Decluttering at the Speed of Life and How to Manage Your Home Without losing your mind on my trip to and from my mom's house this weekend. I laughed, cried, and learned. Right? I was listening to it and I laughed out. Which, I mean, I do laugh at my own jokes anyway, but I was like, is that weird that I'm laughing at my own audiobook? Yeah. My goal for all my books is that they are the least boring books you will ever read about decluttering. Okay, I already answered that one. My daughter wants to do your process, but her idea is to buy storage containers because she doesn't have enough. How does that work? It does not work. That is the opposite of my process. So if she wants to follow my process, it's like buying storage containers beforehand is not the process. Like you will empty storage containers and have them. So what I would say is let's do the process first. Buying storage containers is organizing. The no mess decluttering process is just decluttering, which achieves organizing in a better way than any other organizing I'd ever tried before. But yeah, like just really say, no, Dana says you've got to just declutter first. Don't buy anything except for trash bags. Let's see. Just started decluttering my grandma's. My mom wants to go through the stuff too. She has a huge mountain of stuff of her own. How can I get rid of the stuff without adding to her stuff? Really focus hard on trash and I don't know, because there's so much here, right? Like, I don't know if your mom is going with you, if you're having to do it, and then your mom wants you to bring her everything. But I would really, really zero in on the trash, the easy stuff. I would, if your mom is not there, I would like curate the best things to take to her that bring all the positive feelings and not the overwhelm, and then really work on the, okay, let's one in, one out these things, right? Like if you're going to keep grandma's cast iron pot, then let's get rid of yours or one of yours that is, less quality than that. Okay. I need advice on how to tackle a mountain of laundry, clean and dirty, spread all around the house. Very small laundry day. I know you don't want to hear it. I get it. Like nobody wants to do laundry day until you've done it, and then you're like, oh my word, it's the best thing ever. So short version is that first thing I would do, you said clean and dirty, spread all around the house. First thing I would do is fold the clean stuff and put it away. That's procrastinator. Okay. Fold the clean stuff, put it away. If you're like, well, there's not room for it, well, then there's not room for it and things need to go, right? So the things that are currently still in the drawers when you've got clean and dirty all over the house, probably stuff you haven't worn in a while, but like fold the clean stuff, go to put it away. If it doesn't fit, something has to leave. Literally, she's not watching, so but she watches, she does our things. My daughter, we were literally just working on unpacking her stuff from college, going through it and getting rid of some stuff. And she was like, what do I do when I just don't have room in my drawers for these things that I know I need? And I was like, well, I said, we're going to go to the drawer and we're going to say, okay, we know we need this. And so if there's not room, then we'll just get rid of something that's our least favorite in order to make the room for it. And so that process of her going, and I was like, okay, what in here do you, now that you know you need room for these, what in here do you want to, do you then know you can get rid of? And she was like, oh, I can get rid of this. Y'all, as y'all know, because y'all been doing this, it is that light bulb goes on and you're like, oh, but before, as long as it was the unknown, it was like, oh, it's too much, right? I know that's not what you're talking about here. But as soon as that light bulb went off, then she looked through all her drawers and got rid of a ton of stuff, right? Like, but it's, as long as it was this like, every time I look in there, it's really hard. But when she was starting to look for space, I got to have space for the stuff I know I love. Well, then all of a sudden everything looked different and she was able to get rid of a lot. But anyway, so fold your clean stuff, put it away. If there's not room for it, something has to leave in order to make room for it. Okay. Then all your dirty stuff, let's see, today is Tuesday, right? If you're able to start today, then you say, okay, Tuesday is my laundry day. And that means that I have made all the piles of the laundry that needs to be washed, and I am going to wash all of it. But any newly dirtied laundry does not get added to these piles that I'm working on. That is next Tuesday's laundry. Okay. So therefore, we are not going to be oh no, there's no end to laundry. There's an end to laundry if you do laundry day, right? So we're going to work through those piles. It might take until Monday night next week. It might. But even if it takes till Monday at 2:00 in the afternoon and you've been doing laundry, if you have a septic tank, know that you know how your septic tank works and that you might not need to overload it. Work through those piles of laundry. And on Tuesday morning next week, even if you just finished Monday at 2:00, start again. Gather all the newly dirtied clothes that got worn between now and next Tuesday morning. Gather all those clothes and make piles. It will be a huge difference. Like, you will not believe the difference, because right now you have no concept of what 1 week's worth of laundry is. Then do those, and it might only take you Tuesday, maybe a little bit of Wednesday. And then do laundry the next Tuesday. And you'll get to experience what it's like to go a week without laundry, and you'll be like, what? Okay. But the other thing too is every time a load comes out of the dryer, have a donate box or a donate bag right there. And fold it straight out of the dryer, which I know feels like it's waste time, but I'm telling you, it's shocker. It changes everything. Do it. I resisted forever. You'll be fine if you don't do it, but if you do it, it'll make a huge difference. Fold it straight out of the dryer. Go put those things away. And if they don't fit in the drawer, something else has to leave. Leave. Like, go in the donate box, right? Which means you're going to be donating a bunch of stuff. Anyway, there are 2 chapters in How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind on laundry. There's a chapter on how laundry day works, and there's a chapter on me addressing all the things that are the reasons why you don't want to do laundry day. Because I get it. I know. Oh, we only have about 10 minutes left. Let's see. Do you have tips for young kids being home all summer long, making messes and trashing the house? First of all, enjoy it, right? Because I'm at that stage where I only have one kid home and she's working all summer. But also, that doesn't mean it's not difficult. It's very difficult. I would really zero in on using fewer dishes. If you need to pack dishes away, pack them away. One of the things I did I think it was my first summer when I started my blog where I was trying to get my house under control, writing about it. If y'all don't know me, that's how I started all this. I was not teaching anybody anything. I was just trying to figure it out and writing about it as I figured out. I packed away all but 8 outfits for my kids. That changed how I saw clothes, right? Like I just made it to where there was no possibility of having excess dirty clothes because they just didn't exist in the house, right? So pack away those things, really zero in on the dishes every day, and 5-minute pickups. 5-minute pickups. It's not fun in the beginning, but if you will teach the kids to do it, they're going to pretend they don't know anything. It's not going to be fun. You'll be like, it'd be quicker if I just did it myself, but it'll be worth it. Doing a 5-minute pickup every day, it's shocking the power of keeping it from getting out of control. Let's see. The code for the 2-week cooking course, it's not live, it's whenever you watch it, is summer 25. If you click the link that is in the description of this video, I think I did it right as I was going live. It should just automatically take the $6 off. Okay, but summer 25, if it's showing as $16, add the code, and then that'll bring it to 10. I think. Let me just double check that I did that, right? Did I save it? I did save it. Yeah, it's there. It's the very first link. It says danakWhite.teachable.com/p/make dinner happen. Anyway, if you click on that link or copy and paste it if it's not clickable, it will take you straight to the thing where it's already applied. The code is already applied. Let's see. When I open packages, I don't notice packaging leaving my hands, and I put away the items right away, but then I leave the room and forget about packaging. This annoys my husband. Any tips for me? 5-minute pickup. I mean, like, I'm the same way, and I have not found a way to just like not be that way anymore, right? Instead, I do a 5-minute pickup of purposeful time so that it doesn't just pile and grow, right? Let's see. Dana, the make dinner happen isn't in description. I literally thought of it after I was supposed to have already gone live. So I just went ahead and added that really quickly. So it's just the ugly link, right? Like anyway, it's the very top link. Okay, I'll go in and write a make dinner happen with the code applied here, but it is there, I think. Okay, let's see. Also, Rachel is one of our coaches. My coaches are the best, y'all. Seriously, so fun. Fun and smart women. We have a new full wall of cabinets we are adding in an office. We need to use them for storage of something in our garage, but aren't sure what. Tips for how to deciding what it will be a new home for. Okay, so it sounds like something got pulled out of an office and you're putting it in your garage. Awesome, right? Exciting. I'm going to tell you what I do, and I think this is what the video coming out this week is going to be about. If I already had something that was like homeless and sitting in that spot, yes, that can go straight in there. Otherwise, I leave it empty, and then as I continue working on my house, I let it be the place that pops in my head for where would I look for this first, and then that's how they fill up, as opposed to just, oh, I got space, I got to fill it, right? But if there's something that has been homeless, like let's say it's your tools have kind of been like in a toolbox and then a thing next to it and blah, 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 then great, that can go straight in there because it's already a place where you would look and you're going to go out there and do that because what happens is you go, new storage. And you're like, oh, I'm going to put this in there, and I'm going to put this in there, and I'm going to put this in there. And then you end up with that, well, I got organized and I can't find anything, which is the opposite of being organized, right? Let's see. How to declutter and organize a super small apartment kitchen. Love to bake, but I have very little counter space for appliances and mixers. I love your methods. Thank you for doing what you do. Okay, so this is our last question before we leave today. And for the summer, and I might be here next week, who knows? But first thing I would say is think decluttering, not organizing, okay? know that decluttering is the answer to your challenge. So you like to bake. When people like me like to bake, or think we might like to bake someday, we are like, oh, a whisk. Oh, another whisk. Oh, this is a really cool whisk. Oh, this is a great whisk. And we end up with a bunch of whisks, right? So you don't have that luxury because of your small things. So you go, what is the best whisk? That maybe this one would be perfect for this kind of thing, and yet this one is perfect for this and can be used for this even if it isn't perfect. So I'm going to get rid of this one and I'm going to go with one. Like, so really narrow down and go, you know what? This is the cabinet. This is the drawer that I have for all my baking supplies. That means I'm going to choose the best of the best. I am going to pick the ones that can do multiple things, and I'm really going to declutter down, because then you're going to end up in a situation where the space that you do have, you're actually able to use it for what you want to use it for, as opposed to trying to store all the stuff, right? And you may have, I mean, those of us who love, things and creative ideas, we do things like gather all the cookie cutters or take other people's cookie cutters that they were getting rid of and stuff. And it's like, you know what? I love to bake, but I have a teeny tiny kitchen now. So this, I'm going to do a circle and I'm going to do a triangle and I'm going to do a square. And it will give me the opportunity to be even more creative, because I will have to be creative because of my limitations. So, all right. I really appreciate y'all. Okay, so don't forget, the link to actually the thing is with the code already applied is the first link in the description of this video, slobcomesclean.com/make-dinner-happen, if you want to like go learn more about it and stuff, because it's not fancy. It's not fancy at all, but it's fun. And I have had a lot of great feedback from people on it and how it's helped them. And of course, if you hate it, you can always ask for your money back, right? But that is there. I just want to make sure I tell you about my decluttering coaches. If you're like, I need someone to help me, declutteringcoaches.com is my website. Everybody there is one of my coaches, trained and certified by me, to lead you through the no mess decluttering process. Oh, and then one last thing too, Patreon. Maybe summer is the time where you want to check us out on Patreon and decide if maybe you would like to join us, because it's a lovely group of people. We all follow these same strategies, right? Like, I know a lot of y'all are like, well, I haven't taken your house back group. And I'm like, that's fine, right? But that gets a little like general decluttering. If you want to speak the language that I speak in these videos, if you want to speak my language, my private group through Patreon is the place to do that. Okay, because incredibly supportive, lovely, lovely group of people. I think you'll love it. So, all right, I will talk to y'all who knows when. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter at slobcomesclean.com/5. Get the 5-step decluttering process printable, but also you'll know when new videos start coming out, because the video that comes out on Thursday will be the last of my edited videos to come out until after summer. All right, have a great summer. Bye, y'all.